When you walk into a room, there should be a gravitational vortex around you. If you're somebody that's made $1 million, $10 million, $100 million, $1 billion, $10 billion, $100 billion, that amount of money that you've made is fantastic, and congratulations on your success, but to a certain point, it becomes irrelevant if when you walk into a room, there's not this gravitational vortex around you. When you walk, where you go, wherever you visit, whenever you pop into a meeting or something like that, there should be a gravitational vortex that surrounds you, this field of energy. And I call this field of energy personal magnetism. Personal magnetism is this aura, right? It's aura. It's this field of energy that surrounds you wherever you go. And people, whether it's prospective mates, whether it's business partners, whether it's people that you could become friends with or people that you could join in your social circle, this aura field, this energetic field around you should be so palpable and so tangible that you have the ability to persuade people, to influence people, to get people to do what you want them to do, respectfully, of course, but to sell them a vision, to compel them to a vision, to galvanize them. I want that for you guys. Wherever you are in your journey, I want you to have this compelling field and force around you. So I'm going to highlight 3 different aspects on how an individual can achieve this personal magnetism in their life. The first step to achieving personal magnetism is that you have to understand that the odds are is that you've never reached a level 10 in your life. Level 10 means the level 10 version of yourself. And I don't care whether you're somebody that's made $10 million, $10 billion, or $10,000. A majority of people, irrespective of how high performers they are, have never truly tapped into a level 10 version of themselves. It's somebody that's maximized in all areas. It's someone that has the personality, the charisma, the persuasion, the charm, the influence, the discipline, the dedication, the hard work, the acuity, the knowledge, the ability to recognize patterns and act on those patterns, the ability to be discerning, the ability to be emotionally intelligent and sensitive and wise and profound and present. There's a lot that goes into being the level 10 version of yourself. But if you take all of that, the level 10 version of yourself can be distilled very simply into an energy that you feel. It's a peak state. A key part of developing your personal magnetism is understanding this idea of states. Your state is your mental and emotional state. And your responsibility as an individual is to hone your state, to manage your state. And a successful individual and what a successful life looks like is somebody that experiences the greatest number, the greatest frequencies of the highest quality of states. So if I'm experiencing a level 10 state, meaning I'm feeling fantastic mentally and I'm feeling fantastic emotionally, and I'm able to feel that way on a consistent basis, I will have a good life and I will have a very successful life. On the other hand, if you're somebody that consistently experiences level 4 states, level 5 states out of 10, your life is going to be average or even substandard. So your responsibility, step 1, is to try to get yourself, and to not just try, but to get yourself into a peak state. You have to peak your energy. You have to get excited. Now, how do you peak your energy and how do you peak your mental state? Your mental state is peaked by a couple of things. Number 1, what are the thoughts that are going inside your head? And specifically, what are the mental movies and the mental images that are going on inside your head? If you're familiar with NLP, this is an NLP concept. You must understand what is the imagery that's going on in my head? What are the things that I'm thinking? What are the things that I'm seeing? Now, these things that you're going to be thinking and seeing are probably going to be things that are associated with your future. So are you envisioning a positive outcome for your future, or are you envisioning a negative outcome for your future? If you're envisioning a negative outcome for your future, the state that you're going to feel, the result, well, first of all, if you're visualizing a negative future, the image is going to be poor. The image is going to be you being broke, poor, unhappy, lonely, sexless, whatever it is. That's going to be the outcome that you're tied to. And then what's going to happen by proxy, by virtue of that, is that your state will follow. You'll feel very down. You'll feel depressed. You'll feel sad. You'll feel at a level 2 or a 3 or maybe even a 4 out of 10. But you definitely won't feel close to the area in which you need to feel in order to get to a peak state. Now, if you're able to focus on a positive outcome, the mental visualization is positive, then you're going to start to notice the subsequent state that follows. You're going to start to see how you're more energetic, how you're more elated, how you're more excited, how you're more enthusiastic, and that's more in the territory of 7, 8, and 9. But it's not just about the things that you're thinking about in your head. It's also about what you're saying the things in your head mean, kind of the story that you're telling yourself. How does this apply to your life, right? So you see certain things and you say, oh my God, I'm imagining this future. And what is the story that you're telling yourself? This is just the kind of person that I am. This is how my life has always been. This is the result of growing up with, these kinds of parents, this kind of childhood. This is the virtue of my experience. What you're doing is that you're taking your previous life experience and you're extrapolating it and saying that your previous life experience is also going to be your future life experience, which is incorrect. What you need to be doing is that you need to be taking your previous life experience and breaking it. You need to break the patterns. You need to break whatever you've seen, and you need to create your ideal future. You need to create the ideal version of what you see in your future. And then the third thing to create this elated, elevated state is going to be your ability to get your body involved. So you want to get your body fucking hyped. You want to get energy into your body. You want to get physically activated. You want to stand in positions that give you power. An easy way to do this is to think about times in which, and sorry if there's some inference in the background, we got the gardeners here right now. But an easy way to get yourself physically primed is think about times in which you felt a certain way. Think about times in which you felt confident. Think about times in which you felt empowered. Think about times in which you felt happy, elated, enthusiastic. Think about times and then think about what your body was doing in those moments. Think about how you were breathing. Think about where you were breathing. Was it in your lungs? Was it in your stomach? Was it in your, in your back? Where was the breath going? And then in addition to where the breath was going, what was the posture? What was the facial expression? What was the body doing? What were the legs doing? What were the hands doing? You have to act it out. I'm asking you guys to act it out. I'm asking you guys to fully embody. A part of this whole thing, this whole visual that I showed you guys, is that it's the full embodiment of a level 10 state. You need to get fucking level 10. You gotta get to a level 10. You gotta get there. You gotta get there mentally, emotionally, physically. You gotta get to that level 10 state. And then once you get to that level 10 state, what's going to happen is that you've discovered, maybe for the first time in your life, what a level 10 feels like. And the beauty about an elevated state is that from an elevated state, you'll know what you need to do. So from this elevated state, I want you guys to create an identity. I want you guys to fully flesh out what this level 10 person looks like. I want you guys to flesh out what is the impression that people have when you walk into a room. If you can, and I know you can, visualize you right now, like in your like who you've been in your life up until this point, and then see the level 10 version of yourself stepping into the room. What is the feeling in the room? What is the atmosphere in the room? How do people feel? Do people get hushed? Do people get quiet? Do people get horny? Excitable? How do people feel when you walk into a room? And then in addition to that, what is this person dressed like? What is this person's internal emotional state, their consistent internal emotional state? What is what are their thoughts? What are their thoughts? What are they focusing on? What are the things that they're telling themselves? What are their beliefs? What are the stories, right? Like I was telling you guys, what are the patterns that this person has? What are the things they say to themselves? They're like, wow, I can do anything that I want. If I set my mind to it, it's essentially done. I'm the hardest worker in every room. I have the ability to influence anybody that I want to influence. I have the ability to persuade thousands of people, millions of people. I'm very attractive. I'm very charismatic. What is the level 10 person of yourself like? Fully flesh that person out. And then what you need to do is that when your body peaks, when you get into this very excitable state and you fleshed out this person, you're feeling this energy, I want you guys to anchor yourself. So how you anchor yourself is that you have some kind of physical anchor in your life. So what I mean by physical anchor, you get to a level 10 state. You peak your level 10 state. And when you've peaked to a level 10 state, when you've gotten your energy up, you squeeze your body in a very particular way, or you pinch your body in a very particular way. You anchor yourself to that state. And then what your responsibility is going to be is that you have to test out how good your anchor is. This is another NLP concept for you. When you anchor yourself, you've gotten yourself to a peak state, and then you utilize physicality, utilize these physical anchors to then anchor that peak state into your body. And then what you have to do is that you have to break the anchor. So you got a state interrupt, right? You got to break the state. So think about what you ate for lunch or something like that. Try to just kind of like get your mind off of this elevated state and then re-anchor again. And do that several times so the anchor is really imbued into your body. Because your objective, again, is to make this level 10 state your baseline. And then your baseline will keep elevating and elevating and elevating as time goes on. Now, concept number 2 for you guys is what I like to call super psychology. And I know I'm spending a good amount of time on each of these concepts, but I really do feel like it's very important. Super psychology is the complete lack. This is, again, all about building personal magnetism, right? A pretty core essential of building personal magnetism is not caring about what anybody else thinks about you. Think about magnetic people. Think about hyper-charismatic people. They are sovereign individuals. They're individuals that don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks about them. They're completely independent. They're not, a couple of key concepts here. There's no validation-seeking behavior. So when these individuals engage with the world, they're not engaging with the hopes that people will give them positive feedback. And they don't care about negative feedback. They don't give a shit if people like them or don't like them. What they care about is that they are at peace with themselves. Now, what I'm not telling you to do is to be this fucking idiot, right? And harass people and harangue people and make everybody else's life difficult. That's not what I'm telling you to do at all. But what I am telling you to do is form an identity that is a level 10 version of yourself, anchor yourself to that identity, create that identity as your baseline, and then once that identity lives in your body and you continuously access this level 10 state, keep focusing on accessing this state, then stop giving a rat's ass about what anybody else thinks about you. Stop trying to please people, stop trying to appease people, stop thinking about what other people think about you. Your responsibility is just what you think about yourself. You're completely self-contained. Another aspect of this is that you have to have, just kind of other aspects when it comes to not validation-seeking behavior, is that you can't be tied to any kind of particular outcome. So if you're going to a social event, if you're going to a bar or club, you're hoping to get laid, you're hoping to take somebody home, you're hoping to seduce somebody, make friends, meet a connection, you have to have zero association with that outcome. You can't be so attached and dependent on that outcome, and that outcome determines your state. State management is internal. You accessing this level 10 state is internal. You can't wait on somebody else to give you the validation, the approval, the thumbs up for you to feel like you can access a level 10 state. You have to access a level 10 state, and then if someone says fuck you to your face, you still have to be able to retain in that level 10 state. And for example, if someone says something that takes you out of state, you got that anchor. Right? You got that anchor. You anchor yourself back in and you get back into that level 10 state. You induce your physicality. You think about where your thoughts are going. You're thinking about, what your self-talk, what your focus is. You're thinking about all these things. And then because of that, you're able to get yourself back into that level 10 state. So there's no focus on the outcome. There's no expectation. There's no validation-seeking behavior. And the last thing on this is you have to field test it. You have to shit test yourself. You got to continuously put yourself in environments, continuously put yourself out there into the world. Like, this is something that I notice a lot with people is that, they personally develop, but then they never actually go out into the world, so they never actually develop because they spend all their time in their fucking house. And I've made this mistake myself, right? You have to get out into the world because that's a true indicator of your ability. You have to apply it immediately. Like this video, all the stuff that I'm talking about right now is actually completely useless if you don't apply it. Completely fucking useless. So, I don't want there to be any kind of like, just you have to fucking apply it, okay? That's my point. You have to apply it. You have to field test it. You have to shit test yourself constantly if you're on your journey of personal development, which I'm very much hoping that you are, right? And again, this is irrelevant of whether you have $100 million or $2 billion in your bank account, right? You have to shit test yourself. What is your job? Your job is to be the best version of yourself, the level 10 version of yourself. The level 10 version of yourself doesn't live in a silo, doesn't live in a bubble. Now, this last concept for you guys, this one is very important. This one is the emphasis, I call it the spectrum of self, and I really want to focus on the emphasis on giving to other people. This is a huge one, and this is something that I don't think enough people talk about, where the reason that people are not magnetic, not charismatic, not the kind of people that have this powerful bubble around them, that don't have this aura, this charisma, is because they don't have this penchant for giving to people. If you get into a social environment, you go to a party, you go to a public place, and your priority is how can I give to people? How can I make other people around me a priority? How can I make it so that everybody around me is somebody that, everybody around me is experiencing a better day, is having a better time, is in a better state because of me being there. If you make that a priority, oh my God, people are going to gravitate around you because you make them feel good. You're sharing the vibes. You're sharing the energy. You're giving people power. You are empowering people, and you're just this beacon of light. You're this beacon of energy. And that's your responsibility, right? You want to be a magnet, you want to be charismatic, you got to be a beacon of energy that focuses on giving. And this is another way where you can get out of your head. The way to get out of your head and stop worrying about, oh, am I charismatic? Am I saying the right things? Am I doing the right things? Are people noticing me? Are people being attracted to me? This, that, and the other, right? The biggest thing is get out of your own fucking way, stop focusing on yourself, stop being so selfish, and focus on giving to other people. I promise you, one of the most powerful frames in the world. That's pretty much it, guys. I know that this video has been dense with a lot of concepts, but I hope that this really made sense. The biggest takeaway from this is please practice it. Practice the things that I'm telling you right now. Apply them to your life because I promise you it will change the ways in which you engage in the world, and it will change your personal magnetism. Promise you that. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you soon.